Hello, this is a tutorial on how to play winner's chess. Like regular chess, you always set up the game a certain way when you begin. This order will always be followed exactly the same. The pawns, the small pieces up front, always go in the front line. Then in the back, you have the rest of your pieces. Rook, horse, bishop, king, queen, bishop, horse, rook. All these pieces in the back have a different way of playing, meaning they can only move in specific directions. For example, the rook can only move forward and sideways. It can go as many spaces as it could before reaching another piece. When it reaches another piece, it eats the piece, and that piece is removed. The horse moves only in L shapes, meaning it moves 3 spaces and then 1. So another demonstration would be 3 and 1. Or you can even go 1, 3. As long as it moves a total of 4 spaces and in an L shape, the horse can move in any direction. The bishop can only move diagonally on its color, meaning if you move your pawn, you can move your bishop on its color always, only on its color, as many pieces as it wants until it reaches another piece. Then it has to stop or eat the piece. The king can only move in one direction, 1 space at a time. It can move in any direction it wants as long as it's 1 space. So with the king I could move here, I can move here, I can move here, you can move here, you can move here, you can move here. The queen can go in any direction as many spaces as she wants until she reaches a piece. Now, the pawns can normally only move 1 space unless it is leaving the front line. For example, if I were to begin this game, I can move the pieces 2 spaces. Same with this one. Same with this one. Now, after a pawn has already moved, it can only move 1 space at a time. So because this one was already here, it can only go here. This game is played in turns, and every player makes 1 move at a time. Your goal is to put the king in check so that there's no way the king can escape because it is completely covered. For example, an example of a checkmate would be something like this. If I had a horse right here, and then bring a queen, then the queen eats the pawn, and that's checkmate. As you can see, the king is in check, it is in risk of being killed, and it doesn't have any space that it can go. If the king tries to eat the queen, the horse eats the king. That's how you earn a checkmate in chess. Now what makes this game different is that in chess, you can lose all your pieces and basically end up in a situation where you're just moving back and forth to avoid being checkmated. Well, in this game, that changes because every time you eat a piece, you gain a certain amount of points. 1 point for the pawn, 2 points for the horse, 3 points for a bishop, 4 points for a rook, 10 points for a queen, and if you checkmate the king, it's an instant win. It's instant game over. This makes it interesting because a lot of people go into stalemates and might be happy with the results. But when you're playing for points, no game is a stalemate. Every game has a winner, and whoever did better that game, whoever took more of their opponent's pieces, wins the game.